Morning, guys. Keith at Crypto Bullseye, and this one's going to be an overview from Cardano because we know exactly what needs to happen from the long run. We look at the 2021 bull market high and we look how far Cardano's bled in comparison to the top layer ones, guys. You've seen how much Solana's run, you've seen how much other layer ones have run. You could probably discount Ethereum from that. But when you just zoom out and look at this, guys, this was the accumulation phase. This was anger, this was panic, this was depression, this was disbelief. But once we'd broken out, guys, then we got hope. Where did we expect to reject the 38.2% retracement from its previous bull market high? That's where it rejected. It come all the way back down to its support band. That support band acted as support, guys. Resistance, resistance, resistance. That's acted as support. So what's going to happen in the short term for Cardano? Because we've got a couple of areas that we need to break through, and then we can really start seeing momentum, guys. Because when you zoom out and you look at that, before Cardano gets to its all-time high and beyond, how much wiggle room has it got, guys? Because this thing has bled hard. It's come down fast. So that means when it runs, it's going to run a lot harder. This is how I'm playing the Cardano trade, guys. Okay, guys, short term and long term on Cardano. The aim of the game in the long term is to break this 38.2% retracement, which has acted as resistance for such a long period of time, sat between $1.32 and $1.34. We talk about this gap, guys. We talk about this gap. This gap here, where we had no build up of price action, like we did here, guys. That creates one thing, guys. That creates a lack of buy orders and sell orders at consistent levels. So it creates sporadic buy orders, sporadic sell orders. And what that does, guys, it doesn't create a consistent wall. It doesn't create the consistent wall, so it's easier to eat through. And because people don't know where to put their resistance levels in this point, because there was no build of price action, once you get this big move to the downside, just like we did here, expect once this is broken through, you'll get exactly the same to the upside to our key $2 resistance level, which is the 61.8% retracement from its previous high. So that's the long term, guys. That's what needs to happen in the long term. And one thing that you'll say about Cardano, or one thing that I'll say about Cardano, is it's one of the top guys, blue chips, as far as layer ones are concerned. It's got lots of building on there. There's lots of integrations on there. They've got lots of positive news. And then they've got a key figure in Charles as well. So this thing dropping all the way back down here tells us one thing. When we get the alt season, this thing is going to run a lot harder than the other layer ones, such as Solana, which has already done its run. So one thing you can look at when you zoom out, guys, we had this long accumulative phase during anger, during panic, during depression, during disbelief. And then what happened? We broke through and we got some hope. Where did we expect to reject? Of course, it was a 38.2% retracement. We rejected hard from there. Where did we come back, guys? Back to this support band that was resistance for such a long period of time during the bear market. So we had a nice bounce off there, and now we've had a little trend break. So what we're going to do is we're going to repeat the process, guys, with a Fibonacci, but from this swing high to this swing low. We're going to look at some key levels. You can see straight away, guys, this 38.2% retracement is a sticking point. These Fibonacci numbers work, look. You've got a 786. You've got the 786 rejection. That was rejected at the 786. You've got the 38.2. Guys, look at this build up of price action where the bulls kept trying, the bulls kept trying, the bulls kept trying. So with Fibonacci numbers, guys, once you drop a key level of support, expect that to act as resistance as you drop a level. So it's a case of building back those levels. And when you're building back those levels, you're doing one thing, putting in higher highs and putting in higher lows. So this is positive from ADA. However, we've got some resistance that we need to contend with. Remember this, guys, we build shelves. Once you drop a shelf, then that acts as a ceiling. That shelf here is now acting as a ceiling. That shelf is sitting at 70 cents. So the 70 cents is going to be the one that we need to break in the short term, guys. But what I want to do is I want to put a fixed range volume indicator on there to try and identify what the most area of traded volume is between this range. So we've got the breakout here. So I'm going to use the breakout and I'm going to go from the top here all the way to the bottom here. This is going to give us an area. And you can see this area, guys, resistance, 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 support, 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 support. So look how this thing held. And that's going to give us a key indication that 74 cents is going to be a resistance point. So you can see it's playing out now, guys. We're actually hitting resistance points. And these are the levels that we need to break in the short term. Once we break this 38.2, expect to put in a higher low, guys, and start regaining these Fibonacci levels before we can start testing this 38.2 big retracement level at $1.34, before we can get that big surge in price action all the way up to $2 with little resistance once that break has happened. So, guys, one thing that I'm toying with, Cardano community. We've got a strong ADA following here. I've got a Discord group. Do you want me to create a Cardano community Discord server within the group? The group's completely free, guys. It probably costs me more than I make because I don't make anything from it, but it does cost me. But do you want a Cardano server in there? That's my question to you. Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm going to do Velo next. See you in the next one.